So let us complete this chapter today. Last day we discussed that Kisa Gautami, the bereaved mother, she had gone to Gautam Buddha with the appeal to survive her child. Gautam Buddha proposed Kisa Gautami to bring a handful of mustard seed. At this, the bereaved mother was very happy because a handful of mustard seed was very much available. But then Gautam Buddha gave her a condition. Buddha told her that you must bring that handful of mustard seed from a house where death was unknown. The mustard seed, that is the line, that mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent or friend. Now what happened? Let's start from there. I'm reading from page number 134. Poor Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her and said, "Here is mustard seed, take it." So when Kisa Gautami went to various households, she told them that why she had come, and the people felt sympathy for her, and they were offering her the handful of mustard seed. But when she asked, "Did a son, daughter, a father or mother die in your family?" they answered her, "Alas, the living are few, but the dead are many. No, do not remind us of our deepest grief." So every household, every member, they were offering mustard seeds to Kisa Gautami. But when Kisa Gautami asked them that whether father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter, whether they had died in your family, at these households, they actually felt very sad, and they told not to remind them the grief they had, because the deads were many, the living people were there, but so means lots of people died in their family, and Kisa Gautami had heard the same. Actually these things echoed in each house, and there was no house but some beloved one had died in it. And Kisa Gautami realized, because he could not find such a house without where death was unknown, and she found all the houses where some beloved had died in that. Now Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless, and sat down at the wayside watching the lights of the city as they flickered up and were extinguished again. Now Kisa Gautami was very much physically exhausted, mentally totally exhausted, and she realized all this. And it was evening time, so when she sat by the side of the road, she could see that the lights of the city, as they flickered up, the lights are getting brightened and then were extinguished again. As if this lighting, what she saw, this is as if this is the philosophy of life as well. That when man is born, when somebody is born, as if the light of its life has started, and when times come, it will be extinguished. So these, immortal truth, as if when she was sitting by the roadside and saw the lights were, flickering and, extinguished, as if she realized, yes, this is our life also. As if the lights, by flickering and extinguishing, as if the lights were giving her the message that this is the natural rule of this universe, where there is birth, there is death. So people will born, people will die. And as if she had realized, at last the darkness of the night reigned everywhere, and that is death is the final culmination of life. Here darkness stands for death. So as if Kisa Gotami had realized that yes, death is the final culmination of life. Everybody would have to go to this, to that reign of death. And she considered the fate of men, that their lives flicker up and are extinguished again, as I told. What somebody has written. Sir, today in last 10 minutes after completing this chapter, can you please tell something about the writing portion? Yes, or definitely, why not? Okay, means about the analytic paragraph writing. Yes, thank you. I will tell, definitely. Okay. Now, how selfish now, and she thought to herself, how selfish am I in my grief? Death in common to all, yet in this valley of desolation there is a path that leads him to immortality who has surrendered all selfishness. She had realized this, see, that how selfish am in my grief, death is common to all, yet in this valley of desolation there is a path that leads to him to immortality who has surrendered and all selfishness. Valley of desolation, an area which is filled with deep sorrow. Yes. She has realized that everybody will have to go to this valley. Everybody will have to surpass, will have to undergo this process. The Buddha said, the life of mortals in this world is troubled and grief and combined with pain. Yes, Gautam Buddha told. That life of mortal in this world is troubled and grief and combined with pain. For there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. And this is the nature of living beings, yes. This is the nature of living being. That after death, after, what Gautam Buddha had told, that nobody can avoid dying. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such nature are living beings. And this is the nature of living being. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals, when born, are always in danger of death. Ripe fruit, we know, when fruit gets ripened, it actually, there is a chance that any time it may fall down. In the same way, when somebody is born, he is always running the risk of dying. And if not by accident, by a natural death, but naturally it will come when he will reach the old age. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end is being broken, so is the life of mortals. How nice. As potters, they make earthen pots, and all the earthen pots are broken. Just like the life is same. Life is mortal, as I told. Nowhere there. Actually, no man is there. Not only man, if you take anything is mortal in this world. Nothing is immortal. Everybody will have to go. And there is a few proverbs also. Death lays its icy hand even on kings. Yes, even on kings. King who is so powerful, so rich, that person also cannot, resist death. And there is a proverb. The death lays his icy hand even on kings. Both young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall into the power of death. All are subject to death. Yes, in death, there is no criteria there. Everybody will have to die, and that is the truth. That is the truth of this universe. Everybody will have to die. Of those, and these are the sermons, these are the morals that Gautam Buddha was giving to actually Kisa Gotami, and to Kisa Gotami to all the people in this mundane world. Of those who, overcome by death, depart from life, a father cannot save his son, nor kinsmen their relations. What is kinsmen? Relatives. Yes, when a son is dying, a father, means the most strongest bonding is having with a son, father, or son with mother. Even the mother or father cannot save the child when they see that child is dying in front of their eyes. Nor kinsmen, their relations. Yes, kinsmen's relatives also could not save. When they can see that the near and dear one, they are dying in front of them. Mark is here, remember. While relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply, one by one mortals are carried off like an ox that is led to the slaughter. Yes, when a slaughter, butcher, when a butcher is taking the ox for, cutting and selling for his own business. Here also, a man is dying. The relatives only can lament over. The relatives can only cry over it, but they could not do anything. So the world is afflicted with death and decay. Therefore, the wise do not gripe, knowing the terms of the world. Here, afflicted with means affected by suffering, disease, or pain. Yes, this is the ultimate truth. This is the final truth. This is the immortal truth. That death is the final culmination of each and every one. And the wise person not by the means that he is very educated, wise by the means that philosophically wise. That the person, I know that I feel that everybody will be agreed that it is very tough after realizing also, if you heard that somebody is dead, near and dear one, we cannot resist ourselves from lamenting. Though we know that this lamenting, this crying would not do anything, but still we cannot resist ourselves, we cannot control ourselves. Here Buddha is saying the wise do not gripe. Here gripe means making sorry, feeling sorry, lamenting, knowing the terms of the world, and that is the terms of the world, that is the terms of the nature. Not from weeping nor from griping will anyone obtain peace of mind. On the contrary, his pain will be the greater and his body will suffer. Gautam Buddha is telling, by crying, by lamenting, you will not get the peace of mind. And on the other hand, if you cry, your pain, it will be greater and your body will suffer. Yes, all through the day, if somebody cries, it will be great stress on your body as well. He will make himself sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. Yes, who is crying, who is lamenting over someone's death, he would make himself or herself sick, but the dead people would never survive. Okay, saved by his lamentation. He who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complain and gripe. He who seeks peace, if somebody really wants peace, you must not lament. You must not be influenced by this grief of somebody's dying. Here, draw out the arrow of lamentation and complain and grief. He who has drawn out the arrow and has become composed will obtain peace of mind. And he who has overcome all sorrow will become free from sorrow and be blessed. This is Gautam Buddha has told this in his sermon. But do you really feel this will be practically possible in our life? We know by this sermon it's true, and really we cannot we cannot follow these, because near and dear one, if somebody we heard that near and dear one is dying, we must not control. We cannot control ourselves. Though we know that by lamenting we can't do anything. Though we know by crying over whole through the day, whole through the week, whole through the month, we can't do anything. The dead people will not be survived, but still we cannot control. And these are the sermon source. Betty Reigns of Values and Voice, a college reader. This has been where this was first printed, and this is published over here. Okay, so these are the end of this chapter, and what you people are telling about, we will next day. Okay, I will tell about the question also. We may discuss on this, but today I want to discuss about the writing that you are having about that analytic paragraph. That what is a new thing? Yes. So this is a chapter, the completion of the chapter, completion of the syllabus, and I feel none of the syllabus, none of the literary piece is left. So now from this period onwards, we will go on revision. We will discuss about writing and grammar as well. Now, writing part, you are having, last day we discussed, we are having 5 marks of analytic paragraph, 5 marks of formal letter, and this analytic paragraph is really new this year for you. Now, in analytic, what is it actually? We should learn what is it in analytic paragraph. Now, I saw in analytic paragraph a pie chart, a diagram, a bar. These will be given. It's a picture. I don't have the book today. Next day, obviously, I will show you that how it is and what is the process of writing. I will discuss it more and more. Actually, in that analytic paragraph, suppose a pie chart is given. What type of pie chart? Suppose that a pie chart, suppose the students, they like to read different kind of books. Okay. Now there is a pie chart, but what kind of books they like? How many percentage? Suppose in that pie chart, suppose I'm just want to show you this one thing. Suppose this is a pie chart. Is visible. Suppose this is a pie chart. Now what I am telling that students, they like to read what kind of actually books. This is 40%, 35%. This is 20%. This is 25%. %, 20%, 55, 80. This is 5%, and this is 15%. There's a pie chart. 50, 70, 30. Okay. Now, this is 35. This is 15. This is 5. This is 25 that I told, and that is suppose this one detective story. Means 35%. Then comic. Then 20% adventurous story. Then 15%. This is novels of syllabus. In your syllabus, suppose novel is there, drama is there, and then 5% other. Suppose this is a pie chart. Okay, is it visible? Is it visible? I feel it should be visible. I just want to make it visible more. Yes, visible. Okay, I'm not. Okay, thank you. Now, analytic paragraph is there. That I told that pie chart something like this. That the question is that students, they read this 100% novel. Now this is the criteria that 35% student, they like detective stories. Now 25% comic stories, funny stories. Now this is adventurous stories, 20%, novels, school novels syllabus, 5% other stories. Now you will be told that write an analytic paragraph on this topic and depending on this chart. Now how you will have to write this? Okay, how you will have to write this? Now at first we should write that, we should start it that yes, we know that in this, I'm just telling of this topic, that in this area, in this today's generation, we have lots of modes of entertainment, but still student from age group to 7 to 15, they like to read different kind of story books to be entertained. Now you should, this should be the opening of this paragraph. Now depending on this pie chart that has been supplied here, we could see that this number of students use detective stories, like to read detective stories. Then 25% students, they like comic or funny stories to read to be entertained. In such a way, you will have to prepare or write the paragraph. Okay. So these are the just example I'm giving. Next day, with a concrete example from book, I will show you that how the analytic paragraph will be and how you will have to approach to write this analytic paragraph. This is interesting. One thing I'm telling, this is interesting. Suppose temperature graph in geography is there, temperature graph is there. Temperature comparison of 5 or 6 cities throughout the world will be given to you. You will have to write the paragraph on it. Paragraph means that paragraph on comparison basis. Here analytic paragraph means you are doing analysis depending on this chart. That is why it is known as analytic paragraph. And I saw that most of this analytic paragraph will depend on this chart or pie chart, whatever you tell about. And this is a comparison study, we may call comparison studies. And we will have to, what we see in that diagram, in the pie chart, in the bar, we will have to write it in paragraph. That's all. It's not so much tough, but as it is new, that is why I'm telling it is actually it should be very interesting to all of you. So next day, as we have completed the syllabus, we will discuss more and more on analytic paragraph, more and more on formal letter, more and more on grammar, and I'm with you always. Wherever you are having any queries, just ask me question through your e-portal also, here in live class also. I will help you, and I feel English always is the easiest subject. There will be not a problem in learning English and appearing in the exam. Okay, so thank you for joining my class. Next day we will definitely discuss about writing, especially an analytic paragraph with giving concrete examples. Thank you.